Woot. We'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Okay. Well, no. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Hey out there, Planeteers, Brutal Planet family. This is Dustin, back once again with another Brutal Planet album review for y'all. This time we're going to be discussing the band. That's right. Not to be confused with the 1970s Chicago-based punk band The. This is and as you can tell, I love to say that word. So, I was thinking about it today, and you would not believe the amount of albums that we get over here at Brutal Planet. We are constantly being sent stuff to review. So not everything we get ends up making it on the site or on the Facebook page or on our socials, whatever. We get a lot of stuff, and it's all metal and hard rock. So we do our best, basically, to get everything we can through, but not everything can get through. And this is one of those albums that I found to be exceptionally good. This is an Ipecac release, so it's on Mike Patton of Faith No More's label. And basically, according to their press kit, is an iteration of disgust, a statement of contempt. In an age when degrees of absurdity are the only accurate unit of measure, stand defiantly in the face of declining civilization and thumb their collective nose. They have no use for lofty ideology or half-cocked idealism. They do not seek your approval any more than they need your permission. That is to say, not at all. So singer Matt Kronk was quoted as saying, "I think I can speak for all of us when I say we're thrilled to release our debut on Ipecac. Between Mike, Kevin, and myself, we have a history with the label and consider it an honor to get to contribute a new record from a new band on what is arguably the most prestigious roster in underground music. I am personally over the moon." So, to kind of describe the music for you, it's really raw punk with kind of metal overtone. The thing that's cool about it is it's really punk, really simple, like short form songs, but they have a lot of really cool kind of like progressive metal type breaks, and it's really like dense songs. So even though they're short, there's a lot of like really cool riffs packed into it. So let's do a quick song by song. So basically the first song is called Ass to Grind, and it's heavy in all the right ways. It's just a really raw, abrasive, quick and heavy punk metal type track. Less than 3 minutes, and the band's already won me over. So second song is called Dying to Hit. Have you ever heard of the band Snapcase? So Snapcase was kind of this like punk metal thing, new punk. I don't know what would you call it. Some people just say hardcore. This song reminds me a lot of Snapcase. Just these really big power chords and this kind of staccato screaming that the singer does. The feedback noise that they get too sounds like violins almost. It's really converged type, like just raw feedback from these like obviously cranked guitars, and it's just it's the kind of thing you love about just like raw ass rock or metal, just that big open feedback sound, So the third song is called A Hero's Welcome, and the riff on this one is more metal than anything yet on the album. The opening riff on this track is very reminiscent of Slayer to me. One thing that's noticeable about this band is, again, I feel like they're able to create these really dense songs. They cram a lot of like intricate riffs into a short song, and it's really cool. Like the songs feel longer than they are because there's so much going on in them, and I really love that. So number 4, Cholos on Acid. Okay, great title. It's a really thrashy song and just continues down that like kind of punk thrash metal road that these guys have gone. Track number 5 is called Seagulls, and the guitar solo in the song actually sounds like seagulls, which is probably why they called it this. my guess anyway. Number 6 is called Cholos on PCP. So they're back with a theme here. This time Cholos, first it was Cholos on acid, now it's Cholos on PCP. This one's kind of like just, it's more of like just delayed noises and chanting and stuff. It's not as much of a coherent, you know, song structure, just kind of more of like a, almost like a segue or a sketch piece. So number 7 is called Going Out West. It has a bluesy Western style riff that, you know, kind of sounds like a punk rock saloon. Also has like a lot of real Beach Boys type riffing and surf style drumming, that, you know, that typical surf drum beat. If you ever listen to The Ventures or any of that kind of surf rock from the 70s, you know what I'm talking about. Track number 8 is called He's a Lady, and it's obviously probably dealing with the political climate in America as far as transgender and that kind of stuff goes. I'll leave it at that. Heavy song. Number 9 is called Supervised Visits. There's a really cool riff progression around 50 seconds into this song, and the way the guitar feedback sounds on, again, reminds me a lot of Converge. They just have that really raw, like about to blow style that Converge has, and you know, Converge they'll be grinding on a riff and then they'll just kind of drop into this open feedback, and these guys do that in a similar way. Number 10 is called You Should See My Dad's, and you know, all I've really got to say about this is fantastic song titles again. Number 11 is called Fail at Failure. Again, these song titles are just brilliant. Fail at Failure. And number 12 is called Fuck You for Your Service. The verses on this one have kind of a jazzy type feel to them. And it almost reminded me of like old spy movies or James Bond type, that, you know, Peter Gunn type vibe. And then the last song, track 13, is called The Greater Good. And again, it's just another heavy, it's got that kind of, that punk metal feel that has been a theme throughout the album. So I thought this album was great. It kind of lives up to the expectations I would have for something on Patton's label, Ipecac. Really great indie, like metal punk kind of whole thing that he's got going on there, and he's obviously created a venue where artists can just kind of be free to do what they want, and gives them, you know, enough rope that they can hang themselves with, or, you know, climb Everest, however you want to look at it. But overall, I thought this album was great. Also wanted to comment about the cover, which obviously designed to be offensive. It has a picture of Jesus on his knees giving head to a devil-looking creature with a pentagram on its head. Maybe it's Satan, maybe it's Baphomet, I don't know. But that about wraps it up. If you're into bands like Converge, if you're into, you know, heavy punk, kind of raw, energetic metal, I'm trying to think of some other bands I could compare these guys to. Blacklisted is a punk band I thought of. It's not the same though. I mean, Blacklisted is a lot more hardcore, and this is hardcore, but I think it has a little bit more metal than a band like Blacklisted, or I think I said Hatebreed earlier. And the reason I'm mentioning these bands isn't as much that sound like those bands. It's just that they have that kind of simple hardcore punk vibe, but they're also blending a lot of other elements in, and I think that kind of makes them a cut above of a lot of that stuff. You know, a lot of that stuff is forgettable. You know, it's really simple, forgettable stuff, and this album has some layers. You can really, you know, you can listen to it several times and kind of pick up new nuances every time. It's not a typical punk record, but it definitely has a lot of that vibe. So that's it for the review. It's on Ipecac. Already out everywhere. Stream it, buy it, and until next time, kids, keep it brutal.